Hi. Now the cost of timber has skyrocketed in recent years, which makes building your own woodworking projects doesn't seem viable, especially when you import them really cheaply from China. But there is still some options. CLS Colombian lumber stack is still really cheap. It is quite ropey, some of this timber, so you have to go through it and pick out some good bits, but for the length, 8 foot long, 3x2 timber like this, at the moment it's £3.50 in places like B&Q and Wicks. Now I've only got basic shop tools here, very cheap, I'm not a woodworker by any means, but you're going to follow me, we're going to go along and we're going to build this lovely coat rack with simple tools, basic procedures, we'll do it together. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to rip this through the table saw because I want to take off these rounded edges. So on a nice square edge, and we glue them together to form a nice print. So I want 2 pieces at 700 wide, going to be the finished width of our coat rack. Now that we've got 2 bits of timber cut to length, let's get them glued together. Now this glue takes a good 24 hours to fully cure. But after about half an hour you can release it and now I recommend probably leaving it a good couple of hours. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is get our brackets glued up. They're approximately 200 high. So we're going to cut 4 sections at 200 high. So one of the main problems with CLS timber is it's not the greatest quality. It's very knotty, it's usually always warped. You can see here the 2 timbers, they're slightly different thickness, which is not a problem. We're going to take our belt sander. You can use an ordinary piece of sandpaper and a planer, but I've got a belt sander so I'm going to use it and speed up the process flush, so hopefully the join will more or less disappear. Some time ago, I threw together this little jig for a router. I'm going to use that now, but obviously you don't have to use this. You can use a jigsaw. Okay, so hopefully now you can see it's starting to take shape. Now would be a good time to get some sandpaper, take off this sharp edge. Any sharp edges like this are going to be prone to chipping and splintering. So we'll just take some sandpaper and knock off the edges just like we've done here. So now, time to cut our piece of timber that our hooks are going to sit on. Now it's up to you really how wide apart you want your brackets, depending on what kind of look you're going for. I want mine something like this. So we're going to offer it up like this, lay it out, and I'll measure what the gap is in between, and we'll cut a piece of timber. 550, nice and easy. Now I'm going to use my Dowel jig to put this together. It's only a cheap little tool, £5 on every penny I think. Now you don't have to use dowels. In theory you could put a screw through the ends, which is not going to look pretty, but you could do it. You could screw it and then you could fill it afterwards. You could use pocket holes. Personally, if I didn't have any of those, I'd just glue it and leave it a couple of days to fully cure and then call it done. Okay, so there you have it. Now I'd say that probably took in total around about an hour and a half to make. Obviously there was waiting in between while we were waiting for glue to dry, but now it's ready. You can give it a rub down, stain it, varnish it, whatever you like to do, and then go shopping for some hooks. Now I've gone for these hooks. They're on offer at Amazon and I believe they worked out about 20p each. I don't know if they're still on offer, but I kind of like these because they're a mix between sort of modern and traditional, so it works in any home really.